Have you ever wondered where our desires and motivations come from? In this video, we're going to learn not only are these desires deeply hidden from us, but they're also very susceptible to manipulation. In the 20th century, Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, proposed that human behavior is shaped by our unconscious desires. So what are these unconscious desires? They are the hidden thoughts and feelings which are deep-rooted inside our minds. And these desires are often related to our primal instincts: sex, survival, or violence. His work was centered around talking to patients with mental disorders and treat them of the hidden forces of their minds. But his nephew, Eddie Bernays, had some other ideas in mind. He proposed that if we can understand human behavior, we can also manipulate it. And not just individually, we can manipulate it at scale to the masses. So in one instance, Eddie Bernays was hired by a cigarette company to try and increase their cigarette sales to women. You see, at that time, smoking was considered a social stigma for women. They realized that if only they could change this public perception, their profits would go through the roofs. So Bernays came up with this idea of using women's unconscious desires for equality and empowerment to try and sell more cigarettes to them. He persuaded a group of women's rights activists to go at a public rally and proudly smoke cigarettes. When the journalists would ask them about it, they would say that these are not cigarettes, but torches of freedom. His plan worked. The story became national news and captured the imagination of millions of women across the nation. Soon, more and more women started smoking cigarettes as an act of rebellion and asserting their identities as strong, independent women. The mass psychological manipulation worked, and the cigarette companies cashed in their profits. So why does this matter, and what can we do about this? You see, in the 21st century, with the advent of technology and social media, these mass psychological techniques have become that much more sophisticated. Just as Bernays sold cigarettes to women by selling an identity of a strong, independent woman, today we are constantly sold products and politicians that are designed to appeal to our unconscious desires. No, I'm not telling you to stop buying products or voting for politicians. What I'm telling you, and this is the important part, to have an awareness of the forces that are designed to shape our unconscious desires. Because only if you're aware, you get to decide what is truly beneficial for you, or if it's only beneficial for the corporations and the politicians. The ideas presented in this video are from the BBC documentary The Century of the Self by Adam Curtis. This 4-part documentary is available to watch for free on YouTube. It's a fascinating story of the rise of psychoanalysis as a powerful means of persuasion for governments and corporations in the 20th century. I highly recommend you to watch this if you're interested in understanding the forces of our unconscious mind that have shaped our current society.